start off by asking you, about engineering management. So when did you hear about this degree first? What drew you towards it?
Yeah, that's an actually interesting story. So I was applying in 2019 for my master's courses, and back then business analysis was a big thing, like big data, and like everyone spoke about data in every second sentence that they spoke about. So I wanted to go for a business analytics program, and I applied to UT Austin in the October deadline that they have. That's the early deadline. So I got my admit in October itself, and by October I was done and dusted with my applications. That was the first college I applied to, and I got through. And then I was like, okay, now I don't have anything else to do because all of my friends were applying, and so I thought, let me do some research. And then in December, I remember the date very clearly. It was December 15th when I first heard about what the MEM program is, and I was like, oh my god, I actually should have applied to this program because this is much more aligned to what I wanted to do. And I was doing project slash product management back then at Reliance Geo, and I really liked it. But I didn't know that product management was even an option. And there are programs out there that kind of teach you product management, project management, and kind of teach you how to become a product manager. And that's how I kind of met with the MEM program. And it was very interesting because the final date to apply for these MEM programs was Jan 15th. And I came to know about what a program is on December 15th. So I restarted my application. I rewrote my SOPs within 1 month, and I submitted my applications on Jan 11th, which is 4 days before the deadline. So when mentees ask me how early should I apply, I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question because I myself did about 4 days in advance. So yeah, that's how I learned about the
Right.
MEM program. It came very late, but I'm happy I stuck
Uh-huh.
with it because I think it's a
Uh-huh.
wonderful mix of engineering and management. And for people who want to go into product management or project management, especially, I would definitely ask them to at least go over the MEM program, the kind of subjects that they teach. And I think it was very interesting.
All right, that's very interesting because when I was applying, and this is ancient history now. It was fall 2014. So
Right.
hardly 4 or 5 programs. Really, nobody heard about it unless you really Googled the
It's true.
term engineering management. I think by the
That's
time
true.
you applied, the awareness increased a little bit more. But do you
Yeah.
see a market difference since your application to now in terms of the awareness about this program?
I do. I do. I think in the last 2, 3 years, and I know this because I've been talking to mentees from Gradvine, there's been so much interest in MEM. Like every second mentee I speak to, either on a LinkedIn or from Gradvine, wants to do an MEM program. And product management is this new superhero on the block, right? It's like the
Right.
poster child of the Silicon Valley. Everyone wants to be a product management, and I think the easiest path to product management is the MEM program. Now, the
Pretty
myth
much, yeah.
that a lot of people have is that it's only the MEM program that can lead you to product management. I don't think that's true. I think many different programs can lead you to product management, including CS. I know graduates from a CS program who become product managers. But yeah, MEM, I
Uh-huh.
think one of the reasons why people love MEM is because they have these marketing courses and management courses, which kind of bring the fun into, dry technical engineering subjects that a lot of other programs have. So if you look at all of these top MEM programs, say Duke or Dartmouth or Cornell, their marketing programs or the marketing courses that they offer will be fantastic, or the professors will be amazing,
Hmm.
which is one of the kind of
Hmm.
like the pulling threads for mentees to do MEM. But to answer your question, I think it's true. I think I've seen a lot of MEM interest kind of sparking, which is, hey, I mean that's a great thing. New members adding to the MEM community every day.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And of course, some of the advantages I communicate to students is also that, hey, you know what? It's STEM. It's offered by elite schools. If you don't
Right,
like coding, you don't necessarily have to code, but if you like it, you can choose to do that as well. And
right,
pretty decent career opportunities. Again, not promoting the degree, but it
yeah,
started to make
yeah,
sense rather over the last few
yeah,
years. So you mentioned a lot of good schools, right? You talked about Duke, Cornell, and of course, you went to Dartmouth, and I went to Dartmouth as well. So certain soft
yeah.
corner there for sure. So
Big green.
did you apply to other schools? Big Green, of course, yeah. So did you apply to other schools, and did you get in
Yeah.
there? And why did you choose Dartmouth?
Yeah, so as I said, I had an admit with UT Austin, so I knew that if MEM
Uh-huh.
doesn't work out, I have a fallback option. But so
Hmm.
I applied only to three schools in the MEM. One is
Hmm.
Dartmouth, one is Duke, and one is Stanford.
Hmm.
I really liked
Okay.
the Stanford MSE program, but unfortunately,
Hmm.
Stanford did not like me. It was like a one side relationship. But yeah, these are the three
Yeah.
schools I
Yeah.
applied to: Dartmouth, Duke, and Stanford. And I really liked the
Uh-huh.
programs of all of them in the order of Stanford, Dartmouth, and Duke. So I'm happy
Right.
that I got my second choice there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Who needs Stanford anyways, right?
That,
So,
that's yeah. That's something I keep talking to my. I keep writing in my journal about to kind of forget that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, tongue firmly in cheek, of course. So,
Right.
talk to me a little bit about your experience at Dartmouth. I mean, a lot of people tell me that the curriculum is intense, though,
Yeah.
immersive, fantastic, great professors, stuck is good. You're in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere. So, what did you
Absolutely.
like about that experience? Is there something
Yeah.
that you really miss at this point?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would like to say, and this is the funny part, I had no idea that Dartmouth was an Ivy League school till my interview with Dartmouth, right? Because and the
Yeah,
reason is for Indian students, our window into Ivy League colleges are Hollywood movies. So if you see
pretty
Hollywood
much.
movies, a lot of the movies that they speak, a lot of the colleges they cover are Harvard, Yale, Princeton. No one really talks
Hmm.
about Dartmouth as an Ivy League college. I didn't even know Dartmouth was a
Hmm.
college to begin with, and an Ivy League it completely blew my mind. So, and I
Yeah.
realized this when I was researching for the interview. So, on that
Hmm.
morning, I had the enlightenment that Dartmouth is an Ivy League college. So that's there. That's my interest on Dartmouth right there. But
Right.
yeah, I think what I really liked about the program was it has a compulsory internship of 3 months, and that is a
Hmm.
part of the syllabus. You cannot graduate without interning, which I thought was
Hmm.
fantastic because one of the launching blocks of getting a full time job in the US is an internship. Like if the
Right.
college doesn't offer anything else, it at least should offer an internship opportunity. That is the bare minimum in my opinion. And Dartmouth
Hmm.
does a fantastic job because it makes it you have to get an internship to graduate. So I really like that part
Yes.
where the entire program
Hmm.
is focused on getting an internship and kind of imbibing you with the skills that will help you in the outer world. That's what I
Hmm.
really loved about Dartmouth. Um, Number two is Dartmouth attracts a very myriad set of profiles, which I really liked.
Right.
It
Hmm. Hmm.
very it doesn't have like a one fixed template of people who come there, and we had a batch of 50 with only 11 Indians. So you have to kind of
Uh,
interact with people who are not your nationality, which kind of opens
yes.
you up. And that's not
Hmm.
true with a lot of other places that I know. There are a lot of Indians there, and Indians are kind of comfortable talking within themselves,
Agreed. Yeah.
which might not be a good or a bad thing. I'm not commenting on that, but I'm just saying that Dartmouth gives you an option to talk to more people than you would have in your
Hmm.
life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Though this does not have a direct impact on your grades or on your job, I think it's a fun part because 2 years you get to kind of live away from home and kind of become a better person or like a person of the world. I think it's a good
Hmm.
opportunity to have. Um, what I did not like about Dartmouth, I mean, not did not like, but what I would love to have them incorporate in their program is kind of extend that 3 months internship to say 6 months or 11 months.
Hmm.
What I
Hmm.
realized very late, and I realized after coming here, is that the term CPT is used very loosely. So CPT is the internship component that colleges offer, and it blew my
Right.
mind that different colleges have different rules when it comes to CPT. I didn't know that. So, for
Right.
example,
Hmm.
University of Washington, that is there in Seattle, offers
Uh-huh.
11-month CPT. So people there can intern
Oh,
for
wow.
11 months out of a
Uh-huh.
24-month course. So I have friends who've interned for 11 months within the 2 years of their
Hmm.
studies. And by the time they completed their graduation, they've already paid, say, half their education loan because they worked for 11 months. And they have 11-month experience on their resume before they go out and start searching for full-time jobs, which I think is a
Oh, that's
massive advantage.
fantastic.
Yeah, which is a massive advantage over a 3-month internship. So I would love for
Uh,
Dartmouth to kind of incorporate that and extend the program to 2 years because 15 months it's a very small program. By the time you have your feet
right.
in, 6 months have already
Hmm.
passed through. So I think
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Dartmouth offers so many advantages, I would love to have
Hmm.
them make it a 24-month program so that people can immerse
Yeah.
themselves into the program as is. So yeah, that's my
Absolutely. That's.
plea. That's my plea
Uh-huh.
to the Dartmouth Council if they hear me.
Right. Yeah, that's a fantastic point, and this is what I tell a lot of our candidates who approach us saying that no, I want to go for a 1 year program, 2 semesters. I want to get back into
Yeah,
the industry as far as possible. And I tell them that
yeah,
listen, you're spending a good amount of money, and
I
it's going to
agree.
be a stressful job search, and the experience is so important. So the longer program, you should be happier. You're
I agree.
getting your money's worth, and the experience is great. So, of course, Dartmouth, being an Ivy League and all of that, even I didn't know, but not as late. Maybe before submitting the application, I realized. But
You
for
were
sure,
better
an elite
prepared, Sreekar.
American. I was, because I had
Yeah.
only 5 schools overall that offered MEM back in 2013,
Oh,
14.
okay.
So
Oh, so you had only
not
you had to like
as many.
shoot between those five schools. You had to ensure that you crack at least one interview out of the five schools.
Pretty much, and because
Yeah.
there were no options, I applied to a combination of engineering management and industrial engineering, because
Oh, okay.
not as many
Got it.
options, and that's what I
Got it.
did. But of
Got it.
course, realized that this great school, great curriculum, so many other factors, almost an
Sure.
unknown factor, because there was Duke as an option and Dartmouth, and I
Yeah.
decided to go there. But of course, an elite institution, like I said, a very very maybe packed curriculum, at least the first term. And this takes me to my
It
next
is.
question, right? So I remember walking into my first optimization course. It was on the
Oh
second day of
God. God.
university,
Yeah.
or the
I'm getting
first day of
goosebumps. I'm
university.
getting goosebumps. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the experience I had was, these guys are using Excel sheets. They're doing, it's
Hmm.
almost embarrassing for me to state now. And then we're using Solver and doing some sort of
Yeah.
optimization exercises. And they're going
Yeah.
snap, snap, snap on Excel, and I'm just staring there, sitting
Yeah.
with my mouth open.
Yeah.
And the
Correct.
professor said, "Hey, you really need an introduction to Excel course on YouTube or something to go for it." So,
Yeah.
did you find it difficult initially to adjust to the atmosphere there, or was it like a breeze for you?
Oh, not at all. It was more of a hurricane if you compare. It was very very difficult, and optimization. I still get nightmares about optimization even now, because I remember sitting in that class and being completely blindsided by the fact that everyone knew how to run Excel, and I realized later that many of my friends had taken operations in their undergraduate course, so they almost had an
Uh-huh.
edge over me when it comes to optimization. But it took me
Uh-huh.
around 2 months. Like it was only before the final exam that I got a hang of optimization. I had no idea what I was doing. Like literally, I had one mind to pack my bags and come back because this is something I didn't sign up for.
Right.
But it's true. I think the first semester is always the most difficult because you're staying away from family.
Uh-huh.
You don't know people around you. It's a new country.
Mhm.
It is a completely
Right.
different set of system that you've been used to, either living in India or any other country that you come from. And on top of it, you have subjects that are completely thrown at you to kind of finish because it's only a 3 month quarter, right? Like you can start the word quarter, and by the time you say the quarter is over. It's that short.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first quarter or even the first semester in any college is very, very difficult. It's only by the second semester that you
Mm-hmm.
get a hang of it. And this I've seen with
Mm-hmm.
all of the people who come to the US, no matter what college they go to. So the first semester is always the most difficult one because it also comes in the winter. Right? If you're a fall intake, it's the winter that is the
Right.
first quarter. It's already dark, gloomy, and snowy, which you're not used to. On
Right.
top of that, you would also deal
Mm-hmm.
with kind of do your laundry or wash the dishes, which is things that you don't account for, but it really adds up. So the
Yeah.
first
Yeah. Yeah.
quarter was very very difficult, but I think I had good friends back in Dartmouth. My roommates were amazing, so we kind of all grouped
Mm-hmm.
together and supported each other. And by the time it
Mm-hmm.
was February or March, I mean, unfortunately the pandemic had started by then, but even without that, by
Right.
February or March,
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a hang of how Dartmouth works, and we got a hang of how much to study or how much not to
Mm-hmm.
study, and how much to kind of focus on internships and job search. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, the
Uh-huh.
first month, if I had a choice, if God asked me for three wishes, one of the first wish would be make the first semester a lot easier for people who come to the US.
Right, right. Yeah. And, that's a fantastic point you bring up, because that was going to be my next question, right? Because I get, again, incoming candidates who are seeking mentorship just before they leave, saying that, what can I
Yeah,
do to get an internship right from now? I'm going to send LinkedIn requests. I'm going to, network with people, and I'm going to kill it. And,
yeah,
the thing I tell them is that, listen, maybe you'll take a while to settle down. So don't expect magic to happen as soon as you land on campus. So how
yeah.
was it for you? When did you actually seriously start your job search? When did you start seeing results?
Yeah. No, before that, when people ask me the same question, right, what do I need to do in the first 3 months? I would say learn how to cook dishes that you can eat and learn how to do your laundry and the household chores. Because if you do that
Right.
properly, you will have time to apply for internship. And if you don't do that, that kind of frustration boils into your internship search also. But yeah, I
Right.
need to answer your question, and this is the story that every student goes through. As soon as someone in your batch gets the first internship, which will
Hmm.
invariably be in the month of September or October. You'll have the super achiever who's come from India in August,
Right.
and by October they already have an internship. And everyone else kinds of gets startled by the fact that, oh, this guy has an internship in October. I need to start
Mhm.
working. So I was one of
Right.
those people who've kind of followed that herd mentality. And by the time one
Uh-huh.
girl, and I think there were a couple of people who got an internship by October itself. I'm like, were they preparing for the
Mhm.
last 2 years while they were in India itself, or what? But it's only after October that I started to kind of, oh my God, she has an internship and
Mhm.
I don't. And I started.
Mhm.
It was still difficult. So it was in January when I got my internship call from Philips, and this was after I
Mhm.
got rejected from 50 other roles. And I
Right.
don't even talk of that
Mhm.
because now everyone is rejected. Like if you're not rejected, you don't have scars to show others. That's the new cool. So you should be rejected.
Right.
But yeah, I think by
Mhm.
January, February, I had got a hold of things, and a lot of people from my batch also got internships around February and March. So it takes a good around 4 to 5 months for you to get used to this term
Mhm.
called networking. In India,
Right.
networking has a very different meaning as it has in the US. And if you apply the
Mhm.
Indian definition to US, you will definitely not crack it. So you need to learn
Right.
and relearn what networking is. It's not just a
Mhm.
transaction. It's you're actually creating a relationship with the other person, and in the due course of time, a job offer or an interview offer is just one product of that relationship. It's not the be all and end all of that particular
Right.
talk that you have with the person. It takes
Mhm.
4 months or 5 months to learn that, because for 25 or 24 years of your life, you've kind of thought in a very different way. So it's very difficult to change overnight. But to answer your question, yeah, wait for someone to get an internship in October and you will automatically fall in place. Like, no, did you have someone, or were you that someone who got an internship in October?
No, no, we did have people, and I know this
Yeah,
feeling exactly, right? And it's invariably this computer science guy who has like 2 years of experience past at
right.
Microsoft to go and apply. You hate these computer science folk, no? So
Absolutely.
they do manage to get the internship quickly, but no, certainly not among the first ones in that internship search at least.
Yeah.
And you bring up a very interesting point about networking, right? How it's important to nurture relationships in the US. So,
True.
I mean, what platforms were powerful? Was it, the job portals that were on offer at university? Was it LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Was it,
Yeah.
the CCC that Dartmouth offers, which certain other schools don't offer? So, what did you feel was the most promising avenue, at least?
Yeah, I think Dartmouth does an amazing job about teaching us what networking is, because they have these alumni
Mm-hmm.
talks which happen every week on Friday or Saturdays, when people, ex
Mm-hmm.
alumni or ex people who from the Thayer or the Tuck School of Business, they come and talk to us about how the industry is. And that was actually
Mm-hmm.
how I got my internship at Philips, because the person I applied through
Ah,
came to give an alumni talk. And so it was a lot easier for me. So I think
oh,
Dartmouth
super.
does an amazing job of that. Whether it's the
Mm-hmm.
CCC, they do a great job of making us unlearn what we know about talking to someone else and kind of relearning the new way that is. But to answer your
Mm-hmm.
question, I think LinkedIn was a number one platform that I used to at least set the base. And then I kind of got on a
Mm-hmm.
call with them, either a 15 or a 20-minute call, just to set the base and tell them that who I am, what I've done in the past. And I'm ready to kind of get into a relationship with this person that I'm talking to. And that's not, I mean, it was not very easy for me, nor was it comfortable, but I had to do it any which ways.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people
Right.
who only start networking once they are comfortable. I don't think that day will
Mm-hmm.
ever come. You will never be
Right.
comfortable talking to a stranger about yourself, because that's the way all of us have been raised. So you need to do it regardless. And once you
Mm-hmm.
do, say, 20 or 25 calls, you will get comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I've seen a lot of people just blindly networking without even knowing what they're networking for. So if you want a product
Right.
management role, you will not network with somebody who's a data engineer or data scientist. Sure, you can network for a
Mm-hmm.
referral in that company, but in order to get advice for your career and how to prepare for PM, a data engineer will not be able to help you. So it's not the
Mm-hmm.
number that matters, it's the quality. So even if you just network with 5 people, but you do an amazing job in that, that should suffice you
Mm-hmm.
for those 15 months. You don't have to network with 50 or 60
Right.
people. So I think
Mm-hmm.
preparing and making a list of people you want to network with and knowing exactly what points you want to hit while on the call or following up with them is a lot more important
Mm-hmm.
than just getting on the call and talking to everyone. Because frankly, if you network with 60 to 70 people, you will not have time to do a lot of other more important things that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, networking is okay, but you still need to go and apply to those jobs and press that submit button and make the cover letter and make the resume, right? It's not like if you network, you'll get a job. uh,
Right.
so yeah, I think networking is important, but it's not a lot more important than many other things that you need to do. So conserve your energy there and apply it to other important aspects is what I would say. And I
Right.
failed at that. I was networking with
Mhm.
say 50, 60 people in the beginning, and I thought that I had cracked the code. But in the end, it didn't really help me. In the end, it's only 5 to 6 people who really helped me, who knew the career path I was charting and kind of helped me
Mhm.
navigate that.
And Anirudh, it's